Hey everybody, it's Silver Seeker and welcome back to the channel. Today what I have for you is really awesome. I hope you guys enjoy this one. I really enjoyed looking through this. This is an old vintage United States type collection folder. And yes, there are actually coins inside of here. So as you can tell, this is really old. This is actually from the 50s. And I'm going to show you that inside in just a second. But I picked this up out of an estate and I picked it up for $200. That's what they were asking for it and I was happy to buy it. And I want to show you what's inside because this is really, really cool. But first things first, we're going to open it up and take a look at the age of this thing. So you can see it's not complete, but take a look at this. 1958 Whitman. So this is a 1958 Whitman old US type collection. And I want to go over kind of what's in here. And I think I hit a home run with this at the $200 that it cost me. You know, and when I looked through it, I got to glance through. I didn't pull all the coins out. I just kind of got to glance through. And I saw some things in here that made me know it was worth at least that. So I was happy to pick it up. But I want to go over with you what we have. So this right here, and keep in mind, I have, since I've gotten this, I've pulled a lot of these coins out. I used a very soft plastic piece to get under here and just kind of yank them out and show them to you. Or so I could look at them, and now I'm showing them to you here. But we have a really old 1802 large cent, which is really cool. Imagine how old that is, over 200, and it's about 220 years old as I record this video. Now, as you can see, it's completely worn flat, and on the reverse, you can barely tell that this is the 1/000 variety. In other words, 1/000 is the variety of this 1802, but it's really cool. Even in this condition, because of this coin's age, I value this at somewhere between 20 and 30 bucks. I think that is awesome. We also have a more common large cent. You can see we have an 1852 large cent right here, and then he's missing the other two designs. Well, the other, you know, all the other designs, I should say. And if you notice in these old folders, and they kind of do this in some of the new ones as well, you see they actually fill this with the rare coins because you're not going to probably find these. And so they fill them with these because, you know, at least you have something in the hole, you can complete the rest of them. Looking down here, we have a 1857 Flying Eagle cent. Now that Flying Eagle cent right there, I value somewhere in the range of like 14 bucks or so. You know, just based on the condition of it. And by the way, this large cent, I figure is worth about $10, if you guys were wondering. Now, we have a couple of Indians here. This Indian here is a very old one, but it's also very beaten up. As you can see, it's an 1863, but it's actually bent a little bit. It's been cleaned. I'm not going to give that one too much value. And the one next to it is, you know, a more common one at 1902. And then we do have a 1909 VDB, which, you know, in the condition that this one is in, is somewhere between $5 and $10. Looking down here, we have the reverse of a common date wheat cent, and I assure you it is common date. I checked. We have a steel, and we have our memorial cent. So right there, that first page, you know, while definitely isn't getting us our $200, is a really good start. And let's go ahead and flip this over. Now we're going to really get into some of the meat of this folder. If you want to take a look at this, we have an 1864 2-cent piece. And like I said, I pulled these out so I know what dates they are. But that's an 1864 2-cent. It's actually not bad. You know, it's not great, but it's definitely not bad as far as the condition is concerned. So I really like that one at around 20 bucks. We also have our just regular, you know, common 3-cent nickel right here. We get it close to the camera, you can see that is an 1869. That one we just value it, you know, a few bucks, probably about $5 to $10. We have a couple of silver, the 3-cent silver dimes, if you will. They call them trimes, 3-cent dimes. Some people call them 3-cent silvers. You know, there's a lot of different names for them. I like the word trime, but both of these are really cool. We have an 1852 and an 1858, and the condition these are in, I value them at somewhere between $35 and $40 a piece. I think this one would be closer to 35, and this one would be closer to the 40, plus it has a really cool tone. So as you can see, at this point, you can probably already tell that I saw why this was worth at least the asking price, and I was happy to pick it up. We do have a couple of shield nickels down here. This one is completely dateless. I have no idea. This one is an 1866 with rays, but it actually has some corrosion on it. That being said, because of the quality of the nickel, like just the details, it's actually not bad. Outside of the corrosion, I would really call that one probably somewhere in the $20 to $30 range. Then we have an 1883 no cent. This one's actually in quite decent condition. That one I'm going to give you $5 to $10. I'm going to give it $5 to $10 as a value. And then we have your regular 1911 Liberty nickel. We also have a 1913 Type 1 Buffalo. You know, you can tell it's a Type 1 just because it has the raised mound here that the Buffalo is standing on. That one, because of the condition, it's hard to read 13, but it is readable under a loop without having to nicodate it. Because of that, I'd say it's about $10. And then the one next to it's just a regular dollar, 1937 Buffalo nickel. And no, it's not a D3 leg, I wish. We have a couple of standard nickels, your standard 38, and then we have a 42 to 45 silver. Looking down here, this is where we definitely crossed the $200 value though. We have ourselves an old bust dime right here. This one I would say probably worth about 25 bucks or so. It's an 1835. Then we have an 1854 seated dime. This one I'd give about 10 bucks. It's really worn down. Like it's pretty gone, but it's still a nice seated dime. Now this one right here is really cool. What we have here is actually an 1876, and you can see it's toning. But this 1876 is a Carson City. So this is the first one I'm actually going to go ahead and pull out of the folder for you. And like I said, don't ever use like a screwdriver or something when you see old folders like this, because you'll scratch up the coins. I like to use a soft plastic like the end of a, this is just a Bic pen. We can pull that out and we'll get it up there under the camera. And as you can see, as I tilt it, as the light's reflecting there, you can see that Carson City mint mark right there on the bottom center under the wreath. So really, really awesome about that. After that, we have a common date Barber. However, this 1916 common date Barber right here does have full Liberty. So that one, in the condition it's in, is still worth around 20 bucks. And by the way, that Carson City I figure is worth around $25. This one right here is just a standard, common date Mercury Dime. It's actually in nice condition. It's probably uncirculated, so it's going to be worth a couple of bucks. And then we have a major home run right here, and I did see this before I bought it, and I knew, just looking at all this, that I was well over $200. We do have ourselves an 1875S 20-cent piece. Really cool that this one is in the set. Now, the 75S is the most common of the 20-cent pieces, but they only made them for a couple of years, and really cool to have one in this collection. I'd value this in the condition that it's in today at around $120. And this is another one that I will happily take out and just kind of show you the obverse and the reverse under the camera. Again, very gentle with soft plastic. Never use a metal anything, but there you go. You can take a look at that. 1875. Pretty good detail there. And then flip it over to the reverse. There's the eagle, and of course you can see the yes mint mark there under the twig, or the olive branch. I'm sorry, I call it twig and people give me trouble. I do know it's an olive branch. I've always said twig, even though, yes. But anyway, under the olive branch, you can see the S. So I'm going to put that back in there. And then we have some more cool stuff going on to page 3. So let's take a look over here. And I'm trying to keep this thing from falling apart. This is so old. But as you can see, we do have some quarters. So they didn't have any of the earlier quarters. The first quarter was a Barber. Now, if you notice, this one actually says 1866 to 1891, but it's not. It's an 1898 Barber. So this is just out of place. Then we have a 1916 Barber with most of a Liberty showing. That 1916 Barber, I'd say it's probably worth around probably more like 15 bucks. But even still, you can read all the letters of Liberty, so it might be a $20 coin. We do have a 1916 Type 1 or 17 Type 1. You can't actually tell, but, oh, I'm sorry, it is a 17 because I just noticed the mint mark, which was not on the 16. So my apologies. I just noticed that here as I'm recording this on my notes. I did not actually have, it said 16 or 17. But yeah, you can't have a mint mark on a 16. So if you see a mint mark, but you can't read the date, and it's a Type 1 because you can see on the reverse the eagle is landing, it's a 17. And then we have your common 17 to 30 right here, Type 2. This one is a 27S. Oh, wait a second. We absolutely hit a home run with this one. And this is the next one I'm going to take out of the folder for you. Take a look at this. 1927S. 27S is a key date standing Liberty quarter. In the condition that this one is in, I would say this one is worth around $60. Yes, that is absolutely a home run right there. Really excited that was in there. And eventually I will take these out of the folder and put them in flips, but for for this video, this is still all original. Everything that's in here is what was in here when I got it. So who knows when this was filled? I mean, it's very possible that this folder stopped being looked at 30, 40 years ago. Nobody really knows. It is so old. 1958. That's 64 years since this folder came out. So this could have all been filled in, who knows. All right, next up, we do have a 1932 quarter, but no, it is not a D or an S. It's just a 1932 Philly. I'm sure you've seen this. I'm sure you've been staring at it, and I will share that with you. This is really the last notable coin, but we did get ourselves a bust $50. Take a look at that. Actually, pretty good condition. Nice date. Really good look to it. And on the reverse, you can see it is a very, very beautiful dollar. It still has plenty of wing detail here, a lot of separation in the shield, a little bit of weakness right here across the motto. You can see right there in the center of the motto and at the top of 50, not the C, but of the 50. But really, really nice coin. And I say in this condition, this one right here would be worth somewhere in the $70 range. And then we have, an 1895 Barber. That's going to bring you probably 20 to 30 bucks. We also have a 1918 Walker, which is very worn, and a 1953 Benjamin Franklin. And then on the last and final page of our set, we have a 1921 and 1922 Morgan and Peace dollar set. The trade dollar, the seededs, and everything else are missing. So I would say, all in all, taking a look at this set, we're probably looking at a value of around $600 for a $200 pickup. You can't get mad at that. But what do you guys think? Did you like this set? Do you like finding stuff like this? Do you go to estates and look for things like this, old coin collections? It's a lot of fun to do it, and when you find something, it's very, very awesome. In fact, I think going in the future, I'm going to start wearing a GoPro to some of these, and maybe I can I can film, and then when we find it, it'd be really cool. So there you go, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed the video. If you did, do me a favor. Don't forget to go down below and make sure you like and subscribe. It really helps me out and the channel as well. And we'll see you next time.